So the next thing we're going to talk about is the 7 myths of SEO being revealed. Okay, so the thing is, I'm sure some of you might have heard about SEO, some of you might have some bad experience, some of you might have some good experience. Nevertheless, I'm just going to share with you some of the common myths about SEO, right? Myth number 1, SEO is dead. This is quite common for people who basically experience some bad outcome out of SEO. They might have engaged with some bad SEO providers that resulted in their website being penalized by Google and they have to restart all over again. But what I can tell you based on my R&D and lots of test results, I've got hundreds of sites, is that SEO is far from being dead. Okay, it's more alive than ever, because people who are saying that SEO is dead are usually people who are doing a lot of spammy stuff. You know, they are there for a short-term period. They do lots of black hat stuff. They get their website ranked using unethical methods, and once it's ranked and Google found out that it's using some black hat tactics. For those of you who want to wear black hat versus white, black hat and white hat are two of the most commonly used jargon in the world of SEO. Basically what that means is white hat is the ethical method of optimizing your website to gain traction, in other words, get the ranking in Google, whereas black hat is on the opposite end, which means they use some unethical methods, which some of them includes spammy backlinks. They spam tons and thousands, if not tens of thousands of backlinks in hopes of getting the ranking in a short-term period, and then they'll lose it after that. Okay. Myth number 2. In order to do SEO, you need to have massive budget, which means it's only reserved for, it's sort of like a big boy syndrome. It is far from truth. Why I say that is, yes, some keywords or some campaign requires a massive budget, but you can always start from a smaller scale, okay, smaller budget with smaller campaign. Once you build up the momentum, you gain the traction, and then you can scale things up from there. Okay, it's flexible in a way if you know how to manage it. It's only a misconception for those who don't really understand how it works. Okay. The third myth is SEO is, when you talk about SEO, it's about never-ending content marketing. A lot of people get into the cycle of, you gotta constantly publish new articles or new blogs every other day to make sure Google likes your website. Now, there's certain truth to that, and the real reason to that is because if you constantly publish articles, provided that you have got solid material to publish, then some of the articles will get picked up by the news agencies or some of the high authority sites like Huffington Post or some of the news sites. Then you'll indirectly generate a lot of exposure. You get a lot of viral effect. You get a lot of backlinks, high authority backlinks. That is the whole reason of people asking you to blog every other day or create new content. Okay, but if you don't have important content to share, do not ever create articles for the sake of creating one. You see, if it doesn't add value to your customers or your prospective customers, don't do it. Okay. Myth number 4 is that SEO only works if you pay for AdWords. This is one of the most absurd myths or rumors that I've heard about. The head of the search team in Google have explained that before, and in fact it's been confirmed by a lot of high authority when it comes to SEO. It's two separate engines altogether. It's two different systems and algorithms. So Google does not penalize you if you don't use AdWords, okay, to rank your website. Myth number 5 is SEO only works for B2C. Now, going back to one of the two biggest mistakes that B2B or B2C commonly commit to it is, they do not put a lot of emphasis into pull marketing, which in other words it's SEO. It's far from the truth, okay? Couldn't be further from the truth. SEO works for B2B and even B2C. So, it's a matter of strategically picking your tactics or the system that works to your advantage, okay? Myth number 6 is I need lots of backlinks, right? Now, if you remember, I mentioned 80% of the ranking factors are contributed by backlinks. That's not to say that the entire SEO campaign is predominantly contributed by backlinks. Now you need to have solid on-page SEO as well, okay? And it's about quality rather than quantity. So if you have, say for example, a set of high quality backlinks from high authority sites, if you have 10 of them, it's actually a lot better than you getting 10,000 backlinks from all those spammy websites or even link farms, right? So that's one of the things that a lot of SEO providers or even businesses tend to misunderstood, okay? Myth number 7, I don't have much to talk about our business. Now this goes back to content marketing as well. A lot of people think that in order for SEO to work, they gotta constantly have news, okay, newsworthy articles to be published, and sometimes in certain industry it's just not feasible for you to constantly publish those newsworthy articles. Like there's only so much topics that you can talk about, okay, so it doesn't make sense for you to keep publishing articles for the sake of publishing it if it doesn't add value to your prospective customers, okay? So here to bust that myth, you don't need to have a lot to talk about your business for SEO to work, okay? So I've had clients who are in the industry that doesn't have a lot to talk about, okay, but it still works, right?